I have a shoulder exercise for you today, but I want you to keep in mind that this is actually a full body exercise. Whenever we activate fascia strength, we're turning let's say a shoulder exercise or an arm exercise, it turns it into a full body exercise, so we're strengthening the whole fascia wetsuit, okay? That'll make a little more sense as we go along here. Before I do the shoulder work, the actual exercise, I want to show you a little way to start internally stretching the fascia wetsuit so you can activate this fascia strength. I know it's a little bit mysterious, you know, how exactly do you do this? But I'm going to show you right now how we're going to stretch the fascia wetsuit and get some elasticity from it so it acts as like a second set of muscles. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take my head and I'm going to suspend it, the crown of the head, up high. Think of your head suspended high, okay, instead of slouching over like that. Crown suspended to the ceiling or the sky. My shoulders relax downwards off of that suspended head, okay. You can also think your tailbone dropping downwards towards the ground. So head suspended, tailbones, shoulders going the other way down. You should feel a little stretch in your spine, okay? That is stretching the fascia wetsuit up and down. Now we're going to stretch it left and right. Go ahead and take your arms and put them side to side like I have mine. Keep the shoulders down, okay, head still suspended, relaxing down. Now stretch your fingertips as far as you can to each side. And the elbow joint, open that, lengthen that, and the shoulders. Now this tissue in the chest and the upper back, go ahead and stretch that as well. Okay, so I got my up and down line stretched from top to bottom, and now left to right is also being stretched. That is stretching the fascia wetsuit. Now go ahead and stretch with your arms a little harder. Get some muscular effort into it and understand that that is too much effort to activate fascia strength. We need to stretch it, but then let off a little bit. I just let off a little bit, but I kept most of the stretch, and I should be able to move my body like I'm doing right now while keeping the quality of that internal stretch from left to right and up and down. If I'm tight as a drum like this and I try to move, I got too much muscular tension. So the stretch from left to right and up and down, go ahead and do it a little harder than you should, and then let off and make sure you can move freely. Now this is key for functional strength in athletics, martial arts, anything that takes great skill, because this allows me to have this internal elastic strength, but at the same time move. If I'm always locked in tension, I cannot be athletic and strong at the same time. But if I have this internal stretch and I can move freely, that means I'm strong and can move like a cat, okay? So you got this internal stretch feeling, your body feels full, and you play with it till you get the, I call it tuning the fascia, okay? You can do it a few more times. Head up, tailbone down, stretch the arms, let off a little bit, and just move the body, but try to keep the stretch internally, okay? Now, if I want to strengthen the fascia, I can just put a load to the stretch. Similar to how you put a load to the muscles to strengthen the muscles, if I stretch the fascia wetsuit like I'm doing right now, I got the internal stretch, and I put a load on it, I will strengthen it. I will not only make more fascia tissue, but I'll also train the neurology of my brain and my nervous system to keep the stretch and still be able to move and activate fascia strength, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead, I got the nice internal stretch, I feel it, my body feels full. My Systema mentor, Vladimir Vasiliev, he says, make your body full, be full. He means activate fascia strength. All right, I got a couple rocks here. You can use dumbbells, anything. I've been out and about here and I just thought I'd shoot this video. So I picked up a few rocks. They're probably, they're only like 10 pounds a piece. So right now I got the internal stretch. I got my head up, tailbone down, shoulders are down, resting on the rib cage. I am stretching from left to right with my chest and upper back. And even though my elbows are bent, I'm still thinking of lengthening all the joints. Lengthen my fingers, lengthen my elbows. Like I said, even though they're flexed, I can still think of just lengthening them. And I'm going to think of stretching these rocks up to the ceiling without lifting them. I'm just going to do a static hold, but I'm going to keep the stretch in the fascial wetsuit the whole time. And I'm going to hold it for a minute. Keep my shoulders down. The enemy here is to bring the shoulders up. Once I do this, I'm disconnected. I'm no longer activating fascia strength. I got tension in my shoulders. I keep them down, head suspended. I should feel the weight of the rocks in my feet because all that weight is being forced to the ground, essentially. But it's not just forced to the ground like dead weight because I have the fascia wetsuit activated and it's kind of buoyant feeling, almost kind of bouncy, okay? And what I can do is as I'm holding this position, this isometric, I can move my body, make slight little movements. That lets me know that my body is cat-like while under load. Again, that's more athletic. It's the very elite, this is what they do. Very greatest martial artists, athletes, they can activate fascia strength if they know it or not and stay nimble as a cat. All right? And I'm just going to hold this. And now when I'm done, what I can do is check to see if how good a job I did activating. I'm going to drop the rocks. I'll go ahead and do it. Bring my arms up, and there they go. I get the float. My arms just floated up on their own. It's a weird sensation. It's a playful thing. I do this every day because I can never, it always kind of energizes me, and it's almost like a free little legal buzz. And I got this nice float. And the float is from the stored energy in the fascia while being under load. The rocks while my fascia wetsuit was stretched, the weight of the rocks stored energy, and then when I got rid of the rocks, my arms floated up. And after a while the gravity is winning over. I can take a deep breath, blow up the fascia wetsuit, hold it a little bit. There they go a little bit more, but I'm losing it. And they come down. Guy by the name of Mark Rasmus, a great internal power master, taught me about using the float, the arm levitation, or you can use any part of your body to train fascia strength. So this is a shout out to Mark and a thank you for passing that knowledge to me. As you work to get the float, understand at first you might not get it right away, and that's because you didn't do a good job internally stretching the fascia wetsuit. If all your tension is on the shoulders and you're not activating fascia, you're just doing like a regular old muscle exercise and you put the rocks down and go up to float your arms, you won't have anything. So it's a test. The float is a test to see if you got fascia strength, if you activated correctly or not. And when you get better at it, your arms will stay up for a long, long time. All right? Now this exercise specifically is great for healing shoulder injuries. And the reason is we learn to keep our shoulders down and use our fascia strength when we need to issue strength out of our hands. Most people, when they issue strength out of their hands, their shoulders are all tense. So their shoulders take a beating and the joints get beat up and deteriorate, and you end up, rotator cuff muscle issues, and you get a surgery. But then after the surgery, you still tighten your shoulders every time you lift something, so you never really get a chance to heal all the way. But if you kind of rewire your nervous system to keep your shoulders down and use your fascia strength when you're issuing out of your hands. Your shoulders get a chance to heal and get stronger at the same time. So if you like this training and you want to take the next step, I'm going to leave a link down below. My course is called FASCIA STRENGTH POWER. It teaches numerous ways, many nuances of how to stretch this fascia wetsuit, and then ways to build this strength after we know how to actually stretch the wetsuit, how to load it in many different ways so we can build great strength with it and heal the body.